welcome to Old Bird New Tricks. I'm Amanda Pennick, this is Darwin, and today we are going to be talking about ways to prevent your bird from escaping. So the first thing I want to comment on is wing clipping. Now this isn't going to be a video about should you or shouldn't you clip your bird's wings, but I do want you to be aware that clipped birds can still fly. Many birds are lost every year who have clipped wings because the owner took them outside thinking they were safe. Please don't fall into that category. If your bird is clipped, it might slow their flight down, but they can still physically fly. Buddy, my cockatiel, was actually found fully clipped in a snowbank. We weren't able to find his owners, and that's how he joined our flock. All right, let's get started. So the first tip I wanted to talk about is communication. And this is the first thing I want to talk about because it is the most important thing I want to talk about. In our house, if the birds are out, everyone is aware when the birds are out, and if somebody wants to use a door to the outside, they go and make sure that the bird is either put away or put in a room with a door, preventing them access to the outside door when it opens. We go a step further. If we're coming home earlier than expected, we text the other person and say, hey, I'm going to be coming home around 2 o'clock. And then the person at home with the birds knows that, a little bit before 2 o'clock, you better have everyone away from that opening door. Communication is key. If you have a lot of people in your household, it's going to be more and more difficult. Even go to the point of having a whiteboard with people's arrival times. Really dig into everybody that if the birds are out, everyone has to be aware of it, and those front door, back door, any exit to the outside cannot be opening. All right, tip number 2, this is connected to doors, and that is door and window coverings. If you like to have your windows open in the summer, make sure that you have well-maintained screens on all of your windows. Also remember, parrots are very destructive. So if your window is open and your bird has access to the screen, please don't leave them unsupervised. It takes seconds for a cockatoo to get through a screen and get outside if they want to. Door coverings, all right, the best setup is if your house is designed with a door before the outdoor exit. That is the best, that is the most ideal. So if you're hanging out with your birds and your living room happens to have a door that closes, close that door. The bird can't fly away if they can't access the door to the outside. This isn't always available. In my house, it's certainly not. We have a very open concept house. You can get tension bars that have curtains, so that is one more distractor on the flight path to the door. Or you can just do the communication as in point 1 and never ever open that front door if a bird is out. You might even need to put a post-it note on the outside of the door so that anyone coming to visit you knows that that door will not be open because you have a bird flying free at the moment. Number 3 actually refers to spending time in the sun outside. I personally only have one bird that I've harness trained because this is a long process and it needs to be done appropriately or your bird becomes terrified of the harness. So if a harness is not an option for you, please use a travel cage. Now, not all travel cages are made equal. A lot of people buy the cheaper budgie cages that you can get at a lot of the pet stores, and while these do technically work, they have a lot of faults. So one of the things you have to be aware of, can the bottom fall off the cage? If it can, figure out a way to tie the bottom to the cage to prevent this. Also, when you're carrying it, one hand on the bottom, one hand on the top. If you just carry it from the handle, people have lost their birds because the bottom hasn't been clipped in properly, it falls off, and the bird flies away. Another thing about a lot of these cheap cages is that they have guillotine doors, the ones that slide up and down. Make sure those are all tied closed some way so that your bird can't slide out and fly off. Also, if you have very intelligent birds, especially some of these grays and cockatoos, but certainly any parrot is capable of being an escape artist, be aware of that. You might need to figure out a way to secure the main door of the cage better and make sure that the bird isn't going to open it up and fly away. Now, the problem with these cheaper budgie cages is, of course, that they are cheaply made. So if you happen to have an accident and trip or drop the cage in some way, a lot of the times the bottom pops off or the cage bars bend enough and the bird can escape. This can be especially dangerous for small birds like your budgies because it doesn't take much of a gap in those wires for the bird to get free. If you're going to spend a little bit more money on a travel cage, the king cages are amazing. There are certainly some options that are made for parrots that still are a bit cheaper than the king cages. What you want to look for is either a solid piece cage or a cage where the bottom is very securely locked on. You also want to look at any feeder doors and the main door and make sure that they are locked in such a way that your bird won't be able to open them. All right, that's my spiel. 3 key points. Number 1, communicate, communicate, communicate. I can't drill it in enough. If your bird never has access to an outside door, they're not going to fly out the outside door. Number 2, make sure doors and windows are covered appropriately. And 3, be safe when you're taking your bird outside. Sorry, I thought Darwin was going to come join us. Do you want to come here? Come here. Come say goodbye. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to see more of my videos, make sure to hit that subscribe button and feel free to comment in the section below either about this video or about other videos I've made or about videos you'd like me to make. I hope you have a great week and we'll be seeing you soon. Bye.